All right, welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie, and I am late. It is my fault. Not that I actually ever expect anybody to hop on live, but I do hold myself accountable to really working towards doing morning mindset lives. So when life happens, or I choose otherwise, I always feel bad. I'm late for an important date with you. So morning mindset, although it's not really morning, it's almost afternoon, but here is what I did this morning. So welcome to the Keto Mom page. Tell me where you're tuning in from. You can always watch the replay. And in the mornings, I like to talk about mindset. We're going through a book called Awareness Revolution. It's my book, and it's on my computer. And this morning, I actually woke up from a really bad dream. So I woke up super early this morning, and then I saw a text message from my friend Jolene, and she's like, hey, do you want to meet me to go water walking? And if you don't know what that is, think about, I'm going to shake up some electrolytes real quick. Think about going to our local pool, has a lazy river, and a whole bunch of wise people. I call them wise, not old, but it's for the little bit older, but I would say wise. They all go water walking before the park opens, and so they can walk with the current or against the current. And so we went and walked for 2 hours this morning with all the wise people. We went and walked, and then we got out of the pool, and my legs felt like Jell-O. And I'm going to tell you something. If you know me and you've been here for a while, I love to help you with food. I will give you all the recipes that you need. KetoMomSecrets.com, click on recipes. Or you can tune into the page and I will give you some recipes, right? If you need help with keto tips and tricks, I don't like tricks, keto tips, I will help you. I also love mindset. I also love to work out and go to CrossFit. I don't love it. It is something that I value to take care of my body. I have not worked out in almost 3 weeks. 2 of the weeks we were traveling. So we did like walking, and I just didn't do like a solid workout. And then I have not felt amazing this whole week. Like my head was so congested I could barely breathe. So I say all of that because it felt good to be in the water for 2 hours. So I feel good. I feel really good. Best I felt in a week. My nose can breathe. So anyways, I don't know why I'm telling you all of that. I'm late for my morning mindset. So here's what we're talking about this morning. If you regularly tune in, we have been going through the book called Awareness Revolution. Something that my husband and I are super passionate about is awareness, because I feel like it's something that is lacking when I ask people about their goals, or I ask people about how was your health goals, or how are you doing? How can I help you, right? And just the awareness around why, even just this one awareness around why people eat, or around their emotions, or realizing like, oh, my diet, if I'm going to lose weight, needs to be more than just the food that I put in my mouth. I need to have an awareness around my mindset, around my emotions, why I choose foods, why I do these certain habits. Like achieving a goal is more than just like, here's the goal I want to achieve and I'm going to go get it. So we have been writing this book, and it's around a lot of different areas of your life. Yesterday, and I'm just going to give you a couple questions based on yesterday. I told my husband, I was like, hey, babe, I need the next chapter. So here's how we have been writing the book. I'm a better, like, here's an overview. Here's all of the conversations I want to have. Here's what I want the book to be about. And my husband and I have been brainstorming a lot about awareness in areas. And then I give him the bullet points, and then he's writing a lot of it. So it's a dual thing, but he says my name's on it. But really, my husband is very much 50% in this book. So, yesterday, I talked about the power of by the way, where are you tuning in from? Minnesota has had the hottest summer in a very long time. We don't normally get heat like this, so it's not normal to be in the high 80s and 90s. It's been really warm. Water and hydration, super important. All right, here is what I'll tell you. Yesterday was my favorite topic, and I'm going to touch very briefly on a little bit more of it because we actually added a second chapter to it. And it was around EQ, your emotional intelligence, your emotional quotient, like how well you handle your emotions. Go back and watch yesterday. But I actually had a lot of people that reached out personally on my personal page. And for instance, I had people that said, hey, Stephanie, I want a great relationship with my teenagers or my spouse, or I want to be able to control my emotions. I had an incredible friend, and she's a mom, and she's like, Steph, I want to be able to have a solid conversation with my teenage girls. Hey, can you please help me in this area of emotional quotient, or how to do this? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. So in general, the next chapter, chapter 9 in our book, is really diving into, well, we talk about understanding emotions because, listen, you might be like, Steph, I just want to lose weight. Great. Most people eat out of emotion. They eat because they've got triggers, right? And so in our book, we talk about like shifting conversations. We talk about how to have conversations, but we talk about understanding emotions. So recognizing and understanding them because emotions are real. And if your goal is to lose weight, and that's all I'm talking about right now, understanding how you use food as a reward or as a friend, coping with different things. We talk about empathy and compassion. That's huge. And then we talk about communication. And so here is, I was rereading over kind of the ideas that we wrote, and this really quick conversation is just going to go on top of yesterday. If you didn't watch yesterday, go back and watch it. It is one of my most favorite conversations to have, and legitimately 100% changed my life around the conversation around EQ. But I had some people say, okay, once I understand how to handle my emotions and I'm talking to other people, what are some things I can say to people to help either de-escalate a conversation or to control my emotions, to learn how to respond versus react? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, yesterday's live and this live. But this can just, if you listen to these 3 things, this can 100% help you in any area of your life. Number 1. So as you're having conversations with people and you're realizing you need to handle your emotions, your EQ, so that you don't lose it on a family member or somebody at work, there are a couple things that I think are super important that we dive really specifically into in this chapter. And it's phrases like this. It would be like me having a conversation with my teenagers, right? And saying, and I'm just using teenagers as an example. I've got 4 girls, 2 teens, 1 almost going to be a teen soon, and then a 10-year-old, preteen. So things like, I hear what you're saying. You're probably right, and I'm sorry. Learning how to handle your emotions and de-escalating a conversation is very much a skill. And as soon as you have verbiage and an understanding and an awareness around it, hands down, you will be a happier person. Therefore, you will have less emotional ties to food. I know it sounds crazy. I'm telling you, as soon as you have the awareness around your own emotions and being able to handle situations with ease, it's going to help you in other areas of your life. So when Steve and I were first learning about conversations and asking questions and working with people in communication, one of the first questions we learned to ask people is, hey, this is what I'm hearing. Am I hearing this right? Because the first thing that people want to understand is that you're hearing them and you're hearing them right. Isn't it interesting how men and women, spouses, parents, teenagers, coworkers, how you can legitimately listen to somebody and they're saying something and then you're like this. I hear what you're saying. You repeat it and they're like, no, that's not what I'm saying. Right? How fast do we just assume or, what's the word? We assume or we easily get offended. So I'm telling you, in order to achieve fat loss, something you need to get really great at is communication, awareness around your EQ, and having conversations. And I know you might be like this. Oh my goodness, this girl has lost her mind. Just give me a keto recipe. KetoMomSecrets.com. Click on recipes. Or send me a message and I'll give you a foods list. I'm telling you right now, things like when I'm having a conversation with our teenagers and I'm learning how to respond when appropriately and not react. I talked about this yesterday. And if I say things like, all right, I hear what you're saying, this is how I understand it. Or if I say something like, all right, are you open to a suggestion? Because of course, the wisdom that I have over my children, I have a lot of suggestions. If my children are not at that time open to a suggestion, listen, we practice this as a family. My husband and I will practice like communicating, and sometimes we're like in a heated, we don't yell at each other, but when we're frustrated, I'll say things like, are you open to a suggestion? My husband's always open to suggestions. If he says to me, Steph, are you open to a suggestion? He'll oftentimes find me saying, if I'm frustrated, I'll say, I'm actually not. When I'm ready, I'll let you know. But I'm telling you, I love this conversation. So if you are taking notes and you want help on top of the EQ conversation we had yesterday, there are phrases that we use in our home, and then all of our friends know. We're going to say it to them as well. So it's like, I hear what you're saying, and then I'll repeat back, is that right? And then your children might say, that's not anything that I've been saying. Or my husband and I'll be like, he'll say, Steph, is this what you're saying? And I'm like, no, that is not what I'm trying to communicate at all. Listen, it de-escalates it, and you're less likely to run the refrigerator out of frustration and grab ice cream. I hope this is relatable because it makes so much sense in my head. And once you get it, you get it, right? It's an awareness thing. All right. I'll say things. I just talked about this. Are you open to a suggestion? That's a great phrase to use. And then, let me see. I wrote one more thing down. Oh, that was basically it. Going back and forth. Are you open to a suggestion? I hear what you're saying. Am I hearing you right? So anyways, chapter 9 is more very specifically diving into the conversation of EQ. Let me ask you this. If you watched the live yesterday around EQ and emotional quotient, did it help? Did it give you an awareness? Do you understand? Do you have any questions around this conversation? Because we will dive into the next area, and it's called AQ. And I'm not going to do it today, but we'll do it not tomorrow because we're going to the farmer's market. Probably Monday. We'll dive into that. So, hey, also, I have a winner from yesterday. So as you share the video, so if you press the share button and let me know that you shared in the comments, I put your name into a drawing. And I have a Jessica Skaggs, Skaggs. Jessica, you won. I'm going to send you some ketones. So I need your address. If you press the share button, I put your name into the next drawing. I will do another drawing later this weekend. And it's whatever I have in my home. My favorite books, ketones, shaker bottles. So right now I've got some ketones. Ketones for Jessica. Jessica, I'll tag you below. I just need your address. Otherwise, you guys, you can always reach out with questions. You can ask a question below. You can send me a message. I'm going to pop back on later this afternoon with some keto tips. We've talked about how much water you need to drink 2 days ago. Yesterday, we really talked about intermittent fasting. I would say that's the number one keto low carb health tip as you're working on getting healthier is really look into intermittent fasting. I think it's super powerful. And one of my husband's very best friends is down 40 pounds from giving himself an eating window. Not even keto, but just being aware of how often he's eating and snacking. He looks so great. I saw him yesterday and I was like, oh my goodness, you look so good. So super proud of him. An eating window. Like, awareness around how often you're eating is huge, and even overeating good food. I will say it till I'm blue in the face. There are a few things that will 100% take your health to the next level. The word is awareness, and as soon as you have it on specific areas of your life, whether it's around snacking or where is your mindset, right? Different things will help you get to that next level that you want to hit. It won't just be based on food. If all you want me to do is give you some keto recipes and you're like, listen, I just have to lose 45 pounds. All right. Well, let me know when you want some help. I'll give you recipes. But I believe in order to have true transformation, You have to be intentional. You have to understand discipline. You have to have an awareness around a lot of different areas. It's not overnight. And you can for sure achieve those goals. It just takes some time and effort and energy, and you will put it in, and you will have the results of what your mindset believe that you can achieve. So, hey, thank you for tuning in. Your presence matters. I'm always here to help. Reach out with questions. Continue to tune into the page. Hey, have an incredible Friday. And I posted something earlier this morning. It's called Freebie Friday. And so our company gives away like 20 boxes of ketones. So they do fun random drawings, and all you get to do is learn. Our company values education. So go look for the post that I just did this morning. And if you post me, here in about 45 minutes, you have the opportunity to watch a video, learn some value information about ketones or keto. You enter your name into the drawing, and you could win a free box. So go check out it's a post. Go check out the post. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful morning. We'll talk to you soon.